A brave teenager in Connecticut is credited with saving the lives of a mother and her 3 young children by pulling them from a burning car. Waterbury police say 18-year-old Justin Gavin saw the car on fire as he was walking on Wednesday with the mother driving, 3 kids in the back seat. Justin ran over, opened the door, helped the mother unfasten her seatbelt and get out, and then he pulled out her 1, 4, and 9-year-old children.
I was scared because I didn't know whether the car was going to blow up. At that instant, I grabbed the baby and the 2 little girls out the car, and I helped her out the car.
Waterbury's police chief presented Justin with a challenge coin. It's a token of the department's appreciation of an heroic act.
Okay, so you guys sometimes say, a few of you from time to time say that I don't do any positive stories about black people. Why don't you do any positive stories about black people? First off, name the channel that does that. Just give me one black channel that does positive stories that ain't like overcoming racism. I ain't talking about a black man, a white person said something mean to a black person and they overcame it and shit like that. No. Show me the channel that does good stories about black people. And then go look through my video history just recently, the last few weeks, and see I've done a ton of stories about, great stories about black people. Now, then go look how many people are going to do a story about this kid. How many people are going to do a story about this kid? Justin Gavin from Waterbury, Connecticut. Pulled 4 people from a burning car. Heroic shit. Real shit. He's a real hero. Great story. Should be all over black YouTube, right? It should be a GoFundMe set up for this kid's college fund. What NBA player is going to pay for his college? What NBA player going to buy him, send him a pair of tennis shoes? What NBA player going to send him a signed jersey? Because he ain't get killed by a cop. We ain't going to set our... we ain't going to get shot by a cop, so we got to set our expectations lower. Who gonna set up a GoFundMe for him to take some courses at the community college? Who gonna send him a signed jersey? Who gonna send this kid some tickets? The NFL just started back up, right? Gonna send him some tickets. Huh? I'll wait. Huh? Justin Gavin. Say his name. Salute to this young man. Salute to this young man. Fine young man. Upstanding young man. The type of man you would want to date your daughter. He the type of young man, he could have some shit in his background. He could have some, baggage. And you could excuse it. He wasn't drunk in the midst of a crime, being arrested for said crime and resisting said police who were arresting him for said crime. He pulled 4 people from a burning SUV and could have died himself. Salute to him, man. Salute to this kid, man. Make sure you share this video. All you guys talking about, you don't make no good. Let's see how many shares this video got. It show you on YouTube how many shares you got. Let's see how many shares this video got. I'ma get back to y'all and tell y'all how many shares I got in the video and down the line. I'm gonna tell y'all how many shares this video got. The good video about the young black man who pulled 4 people from a burning SUV, risked his life, could have died. But just the spirit, the moment, sometimes the moment catches you. We've all been there, all of us have been there, where you just do something off instinct and adrenaline. It may not be nothing like this, it's just something you've done off instinct and adrenaline. You didn't even think about it. So salute to this kid, Justin Gavin. Salute you, bro.
A crime alert in northwest Miami-Dade where police are searching for a shooter who killed a pastor.
And the shooting happened just steps away from a Local 10 news crew who was live on the air at the time. Local 10's Amy Viteri is live now with the latest from there. Amy.
Well, Calvin, there were a lot of people outside here at the time, including, as you mentioned, our crew, which witnessed what happened. And Miami-Dade police told me they are counting on the public for information to try to identify the shooter who shot and killed a local pastor here yesterday evening.
Cell phone videos from Thursday evening captured more than 20 shots fired during the deadly shooting that killed Pastor Gregory Boyd.
Listen, man. My man got gold fronts. A lot of pastors are dudes that turn their lives around or used. Like when a lot of brothers go to jail, it's either Islam or Christianity. Most of the time, it's Islam. Some people call it Prislam, but it's a way to change your life, to get headed in the right direction. Religion, it's a good tool. Some brothers take Christianity route. So I mean, he looked like he got a background, but a lot of brothers, and also being a pastor is kind of like a hustle. It's a way to, make a lot of money, meet a lot of women, have a lot of power. But I'm not casting aspersion on this brother's reasons, but he just looked like a brother who got a past. Now let's see if that's what happened, what caught up to him. It could have. Remember, in Blackistan, you ain't gotta be doing nothing. Okay? In Blackistan, you ain't gotta be doing nothing. You be riding down the street. So.
It killed Pastor Gregory Boyd. Miami-Dade police now reviewing videos like this one posted on social media. We're told Boyd was a pastor at New Birth Harvest Outreach Church. Police say he was hit after an argument between several other people led to gunfire outside the Village Flea Market and Mall in northwest Miami-Dade. The violence witnessed by a Local 10 news crew, which happened to be there doing a live report on a different story.
This little girl, I forgot her name, she was killed since this gunfire. So they were doing a story on her. It's another little nameless black girl. Ain't nobody gonna tell you to say her name. Nobody gonna call for justice to find out who killed her. I think there was one march for this little girl, and like 10 people showed up. I'm gonna try to find. It's on one of my old videos. It was like a march of 10 people showed up. So they were down there doing a story about this little girl. And some niggas get to arguing and past the reverend get fucking shot in the crossfire. Ain't that a bitch?
Different story.
I'm waiting to wrap up the package before we go live again, and all of a sudden I hear all of these shots. He was wearing a white shirt and he's just started shooting and shooting and shooting.
As they took cover, photojournalist Nick Lupo recorded cell phone video moments after the shooting, which we shared with investigators. One of those shots broke the glass at JS Fashion Jewelry, going right through the cash register area.
Is this where you normally stand, where this bullet...
Yes.
Owner Junsu says this is where he would have been standing, but he and customers ran toward the back when they heard the first shots.
We never heard that so many times, yes. Sound.
A lot of shots.
Yes.
He said, we neighborhood with so many times and so sound. So it's a rough area.
And Investigators are looking into whether Boyd was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, but right now they say it's early in their investigation and they have not yet identified a motive for this shooting. Again, they urge anyone with information to come forward. They say you can always remain anonymous. Just call Crime Stoppers. That number is 305-471-TIPS. We're live in Northwest Miami-Dade. Amy Viteri, Local 10 News.
And good evening, and off the top at 6 now, also developing a possible break in the case of a little girl who was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting.
2 people are now in custody. Local 10 News reporter Roy Ramos spoke with the little girl's mom. Roy, what does she have to say?
Nicole and Calvin, well, she says she is grateful for this day. She knows there is still a long road ahead, but now knowing that 2 men are in custody, she says she's one step closer to getting justice for her daughter.
I got a phone call that said, I'm calling you to let you know that we have 2 people.
Niecy Drayton, the mother of 7-year-old Alana Washington, grateful after receiving the news 2 men are now in the custody of Miami-Dade police in connection to her daughter's death.
Even though I know we got a long road, but I still thank God for this day.
Niecy telling me the suspects were detained Wednesday and are expected to be arrested on murder charges. She said since the drive-by shooting in Brownsville, July 25th, that took the life of her daughter, injured a 1-year-old relative and 2 adults, Miami-Dade police have been diligent in tracking down the killers.
They've never let up.
2 kids were killed. I mean, two kids were hit. A 7-year-old was killed and a 1-year-old was hit. What are we doing out here, man? Like, this is every city. There's not one city we can go to where this don't happen. This is every city. And make sure you hit that Cash App and that PayPal. Salute to all you guys that hit that Cash App and that PayPal. Don't make me go to the gun memorial again. Okay? So don't argue with me. It's every city. It's every day. They found the guys. The police went and found the guys. The mama's happy. She like the police now. If those same guys would never have crossed paths with her daughter and killed her, and somewhere on some other tip, they get pulled over by the cops, they resist arrest. A cop shoots one of these niggas, that same mom's out there marching. That's Blackistan. That's how crazy Blackistan is. These same 2 niggas, they on some other street shit committing a crime, because that's how you get involved with police. Police are not just fucking with black people for no reason. Stop that shit. Committing a crime, get arrested. They fight with the police, or they brandish a gun, they get shot. That same mom will be talking shit about the police if she ain't know them niggas from a can of paint.
A 1-year-old relative and 2 adults, Miami-Dade police have been diligent in tracking down the killers.
They've never let up. They've never let up.
And neither have you.
No, I was not gonna let up, and I'm still not gonna let up.
As I spoke with this mother, still grieving, she says not a day passes that she doesn't think of her daughter she described as adventurous, bright, beautiful, and intelligent. But now knowing the men responsible, still grieving, she says,
those damn eyes. That little girl. That little girl got some beautiful eyes, man. She was gonna grow up to be a beautiful young lady, man. So sad, man. So fucking sad.
Beautiful and intelligent. But now knowing the men responsible for her death are in custody gives her some peace knowing they are unable to hurt anyone else.
The hardest thing is I'm never gonna see her again. But the best thing is they're gonna get off the street and they won't be able to do this to anybody else.
Okay, can anybody give me the race of these guys? And can anybody tell me how you've deduced the race of these guys without a picture? They've given you no picture, no description. Give me the race. And how did you come to that analysis of what the race of the suspects are? Because we got not getting no picture. There's no talk of race. You know, there's no talk of, there's no pictures, there's no description, there's no nothing. I know who did this. And I don't see no marching. And I don't see no protest. I don't see no outrage. Crump ain't there. When I looked at the mother, she didn't have Crump next to her. Or some other jackleg lawyer. So we know that it wasn't a white person. Okay? It wasn't a Hispanic person. It wasn't an Asian person. It wasn't an Arab person. Crump ain't there.
And when I spoke with that mother, she added that no family should ever have to go through what her family went through. We have also reached out to Miami-Dade police. They tell us they have no comment on the case at this time. As we get more details, we'll let you know. For now, here in Northwest Miami-Dade, Roy Ramos, Local 10 News.